Jam Vishnupad Brahmans Pariviraj Darshat His Divine Grace Abhay Charanar Vind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, text number 6. The famous verse. Savaipam Samparo Dharma Yato Bhakti Radokshaje Ayaduki Apratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. Savaipam Samparo Dharma Yato Bhakti Radokshaje Ayaduki Apratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. Savaipam Samparo Dharma Yado Bhakti Radokshaje Ayatuki Apratihada Yayatma Suprasidati. Savaipam Samparo Dharma Yado Bhakti Radokshaje Ahetukya Pratihada Yayatma Suprasidati. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which man can attain to loving devotional service unto the Transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. Please repeat the translation. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which man can attain to loving devotional service unto the Transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. Purport. In this statement, Sri Suta Goswami answers the first question of the sages of Naimisharanya. The sages asked him to summarize the whole range of revealed scriptures and present the most essential part so that fallen people or the people in general might easily take it up. The Vedas prescribe two different types of occupation for the human being. One is called the Pravritti Marg, or the path of sense enjoyment, and the other is called the Nivritti Marg, or the path of renunciation. The path of enjoyment is inferior, and the path of sacrifice for the supreme cause is superior. The material existence of the living being is a diseased condition of actual life. Actual life is spiritual existence, or Brahma Bhuta existence, where life is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. Material existence is temporary, illusory, and full of miseries. There is no happiness at all. There is just the futile attempt to get rid of the miseries and temporary cessation of misery is falsely called happiness. Therefore, the path of progressive material enjoyment, which is temporary, miserable, and illusory, is inferior. But devotional service to the Supreme Lord, which leads one to eternal, blissful, and all cognizant life, is called the superior quality of occupation. This is sometimes polluted when mixed with the inferior quality. For example, adoption of devotional service for material gain is certainly an obstruction to the progressive path of renunciation. Renunciation or abnegation for ultimate good is certainly a better occupation than enjoyment in the diseased condition of life. Such enjoyment only aggravates the symptoms of disease and increases its duration. Therefore, devotional service to the Lord must be pure in quality. Without the least desire for material enjoyment, one should therefore accept the superior quality of occupation in the form of the devotional service of the Lord without any tinge of unnecessary desire, fruitive action, and philosophical speculation. This alone can lead one to perpetual solace in his service. We have purposely denoted dharma as occupation because the root meaning of the word dharma is that which sustains one's existence. A living being's sustenance of existence is to coordinate his activities with his eternal relation with the Supreme Lord Krishna. Krishna is the central pivot of living beings, and he is the all attractive living entity or eternal form amongst all other living beings or eternal forms. Each and every living being has his eternal form in the spiritual existence, and Krishna is the eternal attraction for all of them. Krishna is the complete whole, and everything else is his part and parcel. The relation is one of the servant and the served. It is transcendental and is completely distinct from our experience in material existence. This relation of servant and the served is the most congenial form of intimacy. One can realize it as devotional service progresses. Everyone should engage himself in that transcendental loving service of the Lord, even in the present conditional state of material existence. That will gradually give one the clue to actual life and please him to complete satisfaction. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanachalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nadinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Bhasha Dadeshadarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this is one of the famous verse which many of us we already know, or we should know at least by memory. Savai pumsam paro dharma yato bhakti radokshaje ahetuki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. So this verse is talking about the supreme occupation, dharma. For whom? Different people have a different dharma. But it is talking about savai pumsam, for all the human beings. And what kind of dharma? The different varieties of dharmas are there in the society, you see. Somebody is a politician. His dharma is to do politics. Somehow or other, maintain his position, be in the power. That is his dharma. Somebody is a sports person, playing cricket. Keep practicing, not practice, perform well, and maintain his status. So there are duties, there are occupational duties. But here, what the Bhagavatam is explaining is Paro Dharma, the sublime, the superior dharma is, and for whom? Savai Pumsam, for all the living entities. And that dharma is Yato Bhakti Adokshaje. Adokshaja is the Supreme Lord, Krishna, and the Bhakti to the Supreme Lord. The loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. That is the Paradharma, the sublime dharma, or the supreme occupation for all the living entities. Savai Bumsam, Paro Dharmo, Yato Bhakti Radokshaje. So Bhakti. Now what kind of Bhakti? The two adjectives are used here. Bhakti should be Ahetuki, Apratihada. Ahetuki means there should not be any hetu, there should not be any reason, cause. Oh, I am doing this bhakti because I do bhakti, I'll get this. Krishna will give me this. So it should be ahetuki, unmotivated, and apratihada, uninterrupted. There should not be any cause, any reason which hinders our bhakti, which stops our bhakti. That kind of bhakti, that is the paradharma for all the living entities. So ahetuki apratihada, purity and intention and consistency in action. That is ahetuki apratihada. And when we practice this kind of bhakti, then yayatma suprasidati. This kind of bhakti will completely satisfy the self. So this is the verse. So Prabhupada explains, this verse is the answer to one of the questions by the sages which was being asked in the first chapter of his canto. Bhurini bhuri karmani shrotavyani vibhagasaha atas sadotra yatsaram samudritya manishaya bruhi bhadraya bhutanam ye natma suprasidati. So this was the question asked. What was the question asked? Bhurini, bhuri karmani. There's so many varieties of scriptures. Bhuri karmani, there are many prescribed duties. So, shrotavyani vibhagashaha atas sadho atra yatsaram. So, it has been asked that Suta Goswami, please tell us saram. So many scriptures, so many prescribed duties, so many things. We are confused what to do, what not to do. Ata sadhu, atra yat saram. Tell us the sar, the essence. Samudratya manishaya. And what sar, not what you think. That I think this should be the essence, this should be the sar. Not like that. You should tell the essence which is Samudrataya Manishaya, which is the conclusion of all the Manishis, all the sages, what they have understood. Present that sar of the scriptures. Bruhi, speak. Bhadraya Bhutanam, for all the Bhutanam, all the living entities, for their Bhadra, to bring auspiciousness to them. Speak. Bruhi, what to speak? Ata sadotra yat saram, the sar of Bhurini, Bhuri Karmani. All the scriptures, all the prescribed duties which you have heard from Manishaya, from all the sages, present that essence. And by that, what will happen? Yenatma suprasidati. Their hearts may be fully satisfied. And this was the question asked. And in response to that question, here now, this verse has been quoted. So what is that one thing? Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Radokshaje. Somebody does the bhakti to the Supreme Lord, and what kind of bhakti? Ahetuki Pratihata Bhakti, then Yanatma Suprasidati. That will satisfy the self. So this is the context. Let us understand now. Prabhupada says, the root meaning of the word dharma, everybody is talking about dharma in the world. Prabhupada's presentation of dharma is very unique, very special. Prabhupada is saying the dharma is here. Prabhupada explains in different contexts differently. Here he says the root meaning of the word dharma is that which sustains one's existence. Dharma comes from the root word dhr. Dhr means dharyate, which holds, which sustains. Like the Bhumi Devi, the earth. Earth is known as dharani. Dharani means it holds, sustains everything. So much is there on the earth. It holds. So the root word is dhr. Dhr means which sustains, which holds. And the word dharma comes from this dhatu, dhr, which sustains one's existence. So there are so many occupations in this world for the sustenance. People think I go to the job daily. That sustains me. I do this thing, I do that thing. That sustains me. But here we understand that our real sustenance is not only just maintenance of the body, but as you, the soul, which sustains the soul, that is dharma. What sustains the soul? So that has been explained. Paradharma is yado bhakti radhokshaje. When we are engaged in the bhakti, ayatukya pratiyada, that will sustain us spiritually. Materially, we can do so many things. So this is the expression that Prabhupada is bringing here, dharma. Dharma means which sustains one's existence. And Prabhupada many times explained dharma is not some kind of a faith. People say that I follow Hindu dharma, Muslim dharma or any other dharma. Some kind of a faith which keep changing with the time. People can change. But dharma is not something which can be changed. Prabhupada uses one good example. Prabhupada says that say if you become from Hindu to Muslim or Muslim to Christian, or you change your dharma externally, your faith. But despite changing, if you are serving in a government office, so tomorrow from Hindu you become the Muslim, would your occupation will change? You will still have to do the same job in the office. It does not change. So externally so many things can change. Your faith can change. Your labels can change. But your occupation never changes. That is the dharma. Right? That will continue. So what is that dharma? What is that sustains us? So Prabhupada explains, a living being's sustenance of existence is to coordinate his activities with his eternal relation with the Supreme Lord, Krishna. That is what is our dharma is. Coordinate the activities in relationship with the Supreme Lord. So whatever activities we do, we should do the activities in relationship with the Supreme Lord, and that is called the bhakti. Bhakti means follow the order, the instruction of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. That is bhakti. Right. So this is the paradharma has been explained here. And Prabhupada says here, the service cannot be complete unless the service goes up to the transcendental loving service of Krishna. That is the perfection of service, and that is called dharma. So in simple words, Prabhupada explained dharma means transcendental loving service to the Lord. Prabhupada also bringing here that the Vedas prescribe the two different types of occupation. What are the two different types? What I said in the purport. Pravritti marg and nivritti marg. The path of sense enjoyment, which is considered inferior, and the path of renunciation, which is superior. So what is this renunciation? The path of renunciation has been described as superior. What we should renounce? This renunciation is also the Prabhupada's explanation or Prabhupada's expression about renunciation is very, very unique. So that has been a very unique presentation of Srila Prabhupada about these concepts. So what we should renounce? Today morning only I was hearing one lecture Prabhupada. Prabhupada was saying, what you will renounce? What you have to renounce? Nothing belongs to us. To renounce something, first you should have something. Everything belongs to Krishna. Bhoktaram Yagdam Sam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Krishna is the proprietor. So what belongs to us that you will renounce? But still it is said in the scripture we should renounce. What we should renounce? Prabhupada was saying, you should renounce the desire for sense gratification. That we can renounce. Not that we renounce the things. That is Falgu Vairagya. Prapanchiktaya buddhya harisambandhi vastuna mumukshavi parityago Falgu Vairagyam gatyate. So that is a dry renunciation like all these jnanis they do. Right? But a devotee's understanding of renunciation is everything belongs to Krishna and everything should be utilized in the service of Krishna. For my personal sense gratification, I don't use anything. I have no personal desire. That is a renunciation. So we don't falsely renounce the things. We see the connection. Hari sambandhi vastunaha nirbandhe Krishna sambandhe. That everything has the relationship with the Lord and should be utilized in the service of the Lord. So that is the path of renunciation. Right. Prabhupada was also giving a little, nice example. So fun example, say, somebody is, I'm giving the class here, Prabhupada was saying, I'm giving the class here, and somebody gets up from the class and say, I'm going away, I'm renouncing this class. What a renouncement it is. He's a loser. He's losing. So one should not artificially try to renounce the things. Right. Also Prabhupada gave another explanation on this renunciation was saying that we are sitting in this classroom and we are doing Krishna Katha here. We are using this room for holding the discourse on Krishna. Another person comes and he says, I want to use this room for ball dance. And we'll say no to him. He'll say, get lost. Right? We don't allow him to do the ball dance here. But we are using the room for Krishna's service. So renunciation means to understand that the things which are meant for certain purpose should be used for that purpose. So everything is meant for Krishna's service. It should be utilized in Krishna's service. Somebody wants to do sense gratification, we don't allow that. That is renunciation. So like that Prabhupada brings, different a nice understanding on these concepts. So this renunciation or abnegation for ultimate good is certainly a better occupation than enjoyment in the diseased condition of life. Such enjoyment only aggravates the symptoms of disease and increase its duration. Right. So this is also important that Prabhupada is saying one should renounce this diseased condition of life. What is the diseased condition of life? What is the disease? We are identifying with the body. What else? A disease is that sense and a tendency for sense enjoyment. You want to enjoy independent from Krishna. That is a disease. Prabhupada is saying one should renounce the tendency because such enjoyment only aggravates the symptoms of disease and increases its duration. If somebody is diseased, whatever activity he does in the diseased state, it will give him the pain. So one should give that diseased condition of life like that. So the purpose is, the paradharma is yado bhaktir adokshaje ahetuki apratihada. The bhakti means the loving devotional service. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also confirms that prema pumartho mahan. The loving devotional service is the topmost. You see in the Srimad Bhagavatam also in the very beginning, all kinds of cheating religion has been kicked out. What is the verse? Dharma projita keta vatro parmo nirma saranam zadam. Dharma projita ketavatra, ketav dharma, cheating religion has been kicked out from the Srimad Bhagavatam and it is aiming towards the topmost loving devotional service. That is the topmost dharma, paradharma, prema pumartho mahan. The prem, the loving devotional service. right? And then loving devotional service should be practiced as ahetuki apratihada. What is ahetuki? Unmotivated. It should be pure in intention. We are doing the seva, bhakti. There should not be any other ulterior motive. I'm doing this bhakti, then I should get this. I'm not asking anything gross, but at least subtly people should respect me. I should get some recognition, some limelight, puja, pratishtha, labha. These are all ill intentions. It is not ahetuki bhakti. Or we are doing so much, nobody is recognizing our service. What is this? We don't want to do any service. This is not ahetuki bhakti. Ahetuki means unmotivated, pure in intention. So Prabhupada is writing here, therefore devotional service to the Lord must be pure in quality, without the least desire for material enjoyment. There should not be any desire for material enjoyment, either gross or subtle. Puja, pratishtha, labha, there should not be any desire. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expresses this. Anybody remembers what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says about this? Famous verse from Sastrashkam. न धनम न जनम न सुंदरीम कविताम वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मेश्वरे भवताद भक्तिर अहेतुकी त्वयि. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is praying that I want ahetuki bhakti. Bhavtad bhaktir ahetuki twai. That unmotivated devotional service. I don't want this dhanam, janam, sundarim, nothing. Kavitam, glorification. People should glorify, I am such a great devotee doing so much service. Like that. So this is unmotivated devotional service. Prabhupada uses this example like many times people go to the God. God give me daily bread. Right. So this kind of bhakti, going to God for daily bread, that shows love for bread, not love for God. Right. So the bhakti means loving devotional service to the Lord, not for the bread. So people when they go and ask that, so this kind of bhakti is not entertained here in the Srimad Bhagavatam. From Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says that famous words, Kit janma hau jatato vadas bahirmukha brahma janme nahi as. So what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, if you make me the kit, the insect also, but I want to remain your das. Jatato vadas, I want to become the das. If I become the insect, no problem. I will be happy to remain as your servant. But on the contrary, if you make me Brahma, Bahirmukha Brahma janme nahi as. But becoming Brahma, it turns me away from you. Then I don't want to become Brahma. So this is unmotivated. I don't want anything but ahetuki bhakti. So this is ahetuki. And then also bhakti should be apratihata. What is that apratihata bhakti means? Uninterrupted. There should not be any interruption. It should not be weekly bhakti or bi-weekly bhakti. 2 times we comes. One on Sunday, one on the mid of the week. This kind of bhakti. Bhakti should be uninterrupted. Meaning consistency in action. This is very, very important. Consistency in our attempts. There should not be any reason, I couldn't do that today because this was the reason, I was not well. Something was not going right. And like that. And that is why I escaped today. Not like that. So there should be consistency in bhakti. Very, very important. Otherwise, we have 100 reasons for not doing. But here we are learning how to practice this uninterrupted bhakti. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually again expresses this. Aslishya vapad pinastu mam adarshana mam marmadam karotuva yata tata va vidadatu lambado mat prananatas tu saheva nambara. Meaning nothing can check you to love Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying this unconditional loving devotional service. Krishna, if you doesn't come, give me your audience. If you break my heart, still you remain the Lord of my heart. So there's no condition. Somebody says, no, I'm not asking anything from Krishna. I'm just asking that Krishna give me the darshan. Show me your mercy. Something like that. That is what I'm asking. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying that if Krishna doesn't give me the darshan, he breaks my heart by rejecting me. But still, he remains the Lord of my heart. So this is the mood of the gopis that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually expressing there. This is the mood of the gopis. You know that how that the Krishna left Vrindavan, right? And then all the gopis, they passed their days simply crying for Krishna. They never complained Krishna. They were just waiting and waiting and waiting. And their attraction, their love for Krishna did not reduce even slight. Right? And Krishna was also thinking about them. And gopis are the greatest devotee, topmost devotee. So there is no comparison with the devotion of the gopis. Therefore, Krishna was always obliged to them. Krishna said to them, gopis, that you have to be satisfied with your own business. I cannot return you anything for your love. Krishna, the Supreme, the All-Powerful, he was unable to repay the debts of the gopis. So this is the kind of love that gopis has and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expresses. This is called uninterrupted devotional service. There is no reason, we cannot bring, like Prabhupada gives another story, that during that Second World War, that many wives of the soldiers, they went and prayed to the Lord that our husband should return back. But many of them, they did not return. They died in the battle. And then they became atheistic. Oh, where is God? There is no God. So there should not be any reason for bhakti. There should not be any interruption in the bhakti. Oh, because God did not, sanction our prayers, so no more bhakti. We are changing our God. We'll find some new, better God. Not those kind of bhakti. It's uninterrupted bhakti. Right. So this Rupa Goswami actually, he says this verse, O Lord of the poor, do what you like with me. Give me either mercy or punishment. But in this world I have none to look to accept your lordship. And then example is used. The Chataka bird always prays for the cloud, regardless of whether it shows rains or throws a thunderbolt. So this is a verse composed by Rupa Goswami. Virachaya mai dandam dina bandadayamiva gatir iha na bhavata kachit anya mamasti nipatatu satkoti nirbharaham va nivambha tad apikila prayodhya stuyate chatakena. So the Chatak word always pray to the cloud, whether it pours the rain or not. In the same way, a devotee should always be engaged in the service of the Lord, whatever reasons are there. Right? There is another famous prayer by Madhavendra Puri. He says, let the sharp moralist accuse me of being illusioned. I do not mind. Expert in Vedic activities may slander me as being misled. Friends and relatives may call me frustrated. My brothers may call me a fool. The wealthy Mamonist may point me out as mad, and the learned philosophers may assert that I am much too proud. Still, my mind does not budge an inch from the determination to serve the lotus feet of Govinda, though I be unable to do it. So this is an interrupted devotional service, apratiyada. Whatever, let the people call whatever they want to call. They say, that sabse bada rog, kya kahenge log. So Madhavendra Puri is saying here, let the people accuse me, condemn me. They say you are a fool, you are a dumb, you are too egoistic, you are too puffed up, you are too proud. Let them say whatever they want to say. I just want to continue my bhakti. So this is apratihata bhakti. Okay, let us think of some example from the Bhagavatam or from any other scriptures of that apratihata bhakti. What comes to your mind? Gopis we discussed already. Another example. Like somebody, Prabhupada says that somebody says, oh no, I am poor, I cannot do, what can I do? No, apratiyata means nothing should stop you. You can do. Krishna says, patram pushpam valam toyam yome bhaktya prachati. Even poor also can offer little patram. Kolavich Sridhar, he was poor man. He was continued to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Patram. Even Advaita Acharya, he was offering patram. Right. Pushpam. Who offered the pushp? Who offered the pushp? Gajendra offered the pushp. Phalam. Shabri also. And then there is a fruit vendor in Vrindavan. She also offered. So nothing can stop your bhakti. You don't have anything, you are poor. Offers a little patram pushpam. Somebody is in a helpless situation. No resources, no abilities, no facilities. Nothing should stop. There should be intense desire to serve the Lord. So what are the examples? Prahlad Maharaj is the example. He didn't have the enough strength to fight against his powerful demonic father. But still he continued to remember the Lord, to serve the Lord. Uninterrupted devotional service. What example? Shabri is the example. What else? Amrish Maharaj, yes, he continued. We can think of those examples. But nothing should stop you. So Amrish Maharaj, nobody was as such trying to obstruct his bhakti or something. We can think of the example of Jatayu. He was not very powerful to fight against that powerful Ravana. But still, he did not consider, oh, I am poor, I am not strong. What I'll do, let me just, step aside or step back. He still, whatever abilities were there, he continued his service. And he laid his life. Another famous example we can think of is Srila Prabhupada. See, when Prabhupada came here to America, Prabhupada was having just 40 rupees. No resources. But Prabhupada did not think, oh, I don't have much money, what I'll do going America. I don't have the place to stay also, I don't know where I'll stay. Better I'll stay back here in Vrindavan only. Right? So there's no resources, there's no facilities. But still, nothing could stop Prabhupada to render his seva. No help. In the beginning, Prabhupada single-handedly, he was only cooking. He was only cleaning. He was serving. Everything. And he was preaching also. Writing also. Everything he was doing. For many, many days, many, many months. Unless people started understanding and they started offering the help. That Swamiji, can we help? Till that time, Prabhupada did not wait. That, maybe let me wait one day, some people will come and try to help me. Then I'll do my seva. This is apratihata, uninterrupted devotional service. Nothing can check, nothing can stop. So this kind of bhakti is the paradharma, savai pumsam, for everyone. This loving devotional service, which is unmotivated, uninterrupted devotional service. We cannot just keep giving the reasons, some silly reasons, useless reasons, and then say, no, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. That is not the bhakti which is expected from us as per the standard of Srimad Bhagavatam. And now interestingly, when we do this kind of bhakti, then only what will come? Yanatma suprasidhati, the complete satisfaction. Otherwise, we just keep trying, oh no, I am not satisfied, I am not happy, I am not contented. Because our service probably are either motivated, we are looking something, suddenly we are desiring something, or it is uninterrupted, we are giving the reasons. And so if it is not ahetukya pratiyada, there is no real satisfaction comes. So this is the secret. If we really want to be satisfied in the heart, then we have to practice in this unmotivated, uninterrupted devotional service. And that has been described here as Savayamamsam Parodharmo. This is the supreme occupation for the entire humanity. Loving devotional service. Okay, so these are some of the thoughts on this verse. Anybody has any quick question, any comment, somebody wants to ask or add something? Yeah, so because of our past conditioning, if sometime we are not able to do consistently, so we should keep trying at least. Sincerely, we should try. We should not think that, oh, I'm like that only, take it for granted or become complacent. I don't have this ability. We should be keep trying. So the success in the spiritual life is in the attempt, not in the results. Like we know the famous example of this Brahmana in the Sri Rangam. He was attempting to read Bhagavad Gita. He didn't have the ability to read. He was a illiterate person. So he would have said that, I'm illiterate. I cannot read. Though my guru has told me, but what can I do? I can be exempted. No, I did not take that as an excuse. Still tried. And then Lord was pleased. That caught the attention of the Lord. So if we keep trying and keep seeking the help, keep praying to the Lord in this way, different ways, and then we should know that Lord will definitely help. Lord will guide us, and then we'll be able to overcome our limitations also. Nothing can stop, nothing can limit. Right. So this is how we should understand that yes, we all are limited in so many different ways. Nobody is perfect. That should not become the reason. Whatever within our ability, we should try our best and try to keep stretching little by little, little by little. Stretch is needed. We should not sit in the comfort zone. Anyway, this thing I cannot do, so that's okay. Try to stretch, figure out the things, seek some help, pray to the Lord, and then things will happen. So at least that sincere attempt, that endeavor itself is a success in bhakti. Like that. Okay. Any other question or any other thought? Stop here. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.